For the past several months, families of Cohune Walk, a residential area in Belmopan, have been complaining of a malodor, which ever so often blankets the community. Community members say that the malodor has been negatively affecting the quality of air and their daily lives.
Basically, you smell, slight bagash and stuff, but then sometimes you do smell like bacteria waste and stool, no? So like sometimes there are different combinations. So like sometimes because we even talk to the neighbors and it kind of funny because I don't really know exactly where the scent they come from. But then our high scent no it kind of bad too because then sometimes early in the morning you get up sometimes the smell and anything there and you don't really know exactly where they breathe to see and where to. So that like a real hazard and then I got kids that nearly all of their house, you know.
According to the CEO in the Ministry of Environment, Dr. Percival Cho, multiple industries which generate wastewater are within close proximity of each other. CEO Cho says that the general source of the malodor has been isolated.
It's coming from the industrial area of Belmopan. So in that particular area, there's BWS sewage treatment ponds, and there's a distillery for travelers. We have looked into it very closely, and the DOE over the past months, and I think even going back a couple of years, have been working with, in particular, travelers to deal with the treatment of the waste that comes out of the distillery. It's a very tricky substance to deal with, as I understand it, very technical in nature. But what happens is when it's outputted as waste, it doesn't break down easily, and the treatment of that creates some sort of odor during the processing.
Officials from the Department of Environment have met with reps of Travelers Liquor Limited, and subsequent meetings have been scheduled. The recommended short-term solution to mitigate the negative environmental and human health impacts include the immediate application of effective microorganisms to digest the wastewater and prevent the emission of malodor.
Immediately, one of the solutions that Travelers is exploring right now is the use of microorganisms, bacteria, algae and fungi to break down this particular substance to prevent that release of that malodor. There are some challenges there, so they're trying different microorganisms, and I think they mentioned to me yesterday that they're importing a particular strain today to attempt to deal with the issue.
As for the medium to long-term solution, the Department of Environment is recommending the relocation of the waste.
The waste is apparently transportable, and that can be moved to treatment ponds elsewhere, farther away from populated areas. The smell issue will still be there, but because it's removed from within the vicinity of a populated area, it won't be much of a concern. So that's a medium-term option, but that requires some infrastructure development, some investment from the company. And the thing is, the consideration one has to make is the company has invested, and they described it quite nicely, in treating it on site over the years. They've invested quite a lot, looking at different technologies. Unfortunately, those haven't really solved the issue thus far. They're looking at this particular microorganism as perhaps an immediate solution, but we have to test it. But in the meantime, we understand the complaints from the public. We understand fully.
And while that is being done, residents of the area are reporting health issues, possibly caused by the emission of the malodor.
Some of the gases that are released and that smell similar are very toxic. Some of them, from other industries, and those, if it's in that category, that will have to be addressed immediately. So we're looking into that as well. What exactly is the composition of this gas?
Hipolito, Novelo, News 5.